I used to think my roommate was trying to kill me. Now I know that would have been the better option. 3 months ago, I moved into a dirt-cheap apartment. Downtown after my breakup destroyed me financially. Tiny kitchen, thin walls, terrible plumbing. The rent was suspiciously low, but I was desperate. The roommate situation was weird, too. I never met the guy beforehand. The landlord just said, "His name's Adrian." Quiet guy. Pays on time. When I moved in, Adrian barely talked. Tall dude, dark hoodies, polite enough. But something about him felt off. Not dangerous exactly, just distant. At first, everything was normal. Then the noises started. Every night around 2 a.m., I'd hear him pacing through the apartment. Slow footsteps, back and forth for hours. Sometimes he'd stop directly outside my bedroom door, completely still. The first time it happened, I thought I imagined it, until I saw his shadow under the door. I texted my friend Marcus about it. "Bro, you're definitely getting murdered." Helpful. A few nights later, I confronted Adrian. "Hey man, you okay? You've been up late a lot." He looked confused. "I don't leave my room at night." I laughed awkwardly. "Dude, I literally hear you pacing." His expression changed instantly. "What time?" "Usually around 2. Adrian stared at me for a second too long, then nodded slowly. "Okay." That was it. After that, things got worse. Now I heard whispering, too. Faint voices at night. Sometimes it sounded like they were coming from inside the walls. Then came the kitchen incident. I woke up thirsty around 3 a.m. and walked into the kitchen. Every cabinet door was open. The fridge, too. Standing in the middle of the room was Adrian, staring into the fridge motionlessly. "Jesus Christ," I snapped. He turned slowly toward me. Something was wrong with his face, empty, like he wasn't fully awake. Then he whispered, "He keeps moving things." "What?" Adrian glanced nervously toward the hallway. "The man in the hallway." I laughed out of pure discomfort. "Okay, dude. Not funny." But he wasn't joking. "You've seen him too, right?" And suddenly I remembered. The night before, I got home from work around midnight and saw a tall figure standing at the end of the hallway outside our apartment. Dark clothes, completely still. I assumed it was a neighbor. But when the elevator opened again a few seconds later, the hallway was empty. I looked back at Adrian. "He only appears after 2 a.m., he said quietly. I should have moved out immediately. Instead, I made the dumbest decision of my life. I stayed awake to see this hallway man for myself. And at exactly 2:13 a.m., someone knocked on our apartment door. I turned around so fast my shoulder slammed into the wall. The footsteps stopped instantly. Dead silence. Adrian looked terrified now. Not nervous, terrified. "We need to leave," he whispered. But before I could respond, my bedroom door slowly creaked open, and a voice came from inside. My voice. "Help me." I swear it sounded exactly like me. Same tone, same breathing. My knees almost gave out. Adrian grabbed my arm hard. "Do not answer it." Then the voice came again, softer this time. "Please." I stared down the dark hallway, completely frozen. Hearing your own voice call for help does something to your brain. Part of me genuinely wanted to walk toward it. Adrian noticed immediately. "You hear me?" he snapped. "Don't go in there." Then suddenly, my bedroom light turned on by itself. Both of us flinched. And for half a second, I saw movement inside. A tall figure standing near my closet. Then the light flicked back off. I grabbed a kitchen knife instinctively, which, looking back, was ridiculous. Like, yeah, fight the supernatural with IKEA silverware. Adrian looked at me like I'd lost my mind. "That won't help?" "Help with what?" I yelled. That's when we noticed the whispering. At first, it blended into the apartment noise. Pipes, traffic, air conditioning. But it kept getting louder. Dozens of whispers, inside the walls. Fast overlapping voices like people talking behind the drywall. I couldn't understand most of it. Except one thing. My name, over and over. I backed away immediately. "Nope," I muttered. "Nope, nope, nope." Then, bang. My closet door slammed shut so hard the apartment shook. I yelled. Adrian cursed. And suddenly footsteps sprinted across my bedroom. Fast. Barefoot. Inhumanly fast. Then silence. I stared at Adrian, breathing hard. "What the hell is that?" Instead of answering, he slowly pulled up his sleeve. Deep scratches covered his forearm. Old scars. Like something had been grabbing him repeatedly. "He touches people now," Adrian whispered. I stared at him. "You're serious?" I wish I wasn't. Then he finally told me the truth. The last roommate, Tyler, didn't just disappear. Police found his car abandoned 3 states away. Wallet inside. Phone too, but no Tyler. No body, nothing. And the week before he vanished, he kept repeating the same sentence every night. He keeps smiling at me. Right then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. But something told me to answer. Hello? Silence. Then slow breathing. And finally, my own voice whispered, Look behind you. I spun around instantly. Nobody there. Empty kitchen. Empty hallway. But Adrian looked horrified. Not at me. Past me. I turned slowly and froze. Standing at the end of the apartment hallway was the man. Tall, dark clothes, face stretched into an unnatural smile. And the worst part? He was smiling exactly like me. I couldn't move. The man stood at the end of the hallway smiling at me. But the smile wasn't human. Too wide, too stretched, like something pretending to understand how people smile. Adrian slowly backed away. We need to go, he whispered. But I couldn't stop staring. The closer I looked, the more wrong the thing became. Its arms were too long, its head tilted sideways unnaturally, and its eyes, they looked exactly like mine. Then suddenly, it copied me. I swallowed nervously. It swallowed too. Same movement, same timing. It's mimicking you, Adrian whispered. The thing smiled even wider. Then it stepped forward. The hallway lights flickered instantly. That finally snapped me out of it. Run! We bolted out of the apartment. Adrian slammed the stairwell, door behind us, and practically threw himself down the stairs. I followed right behind him. And the entire time, we heard footsteps above us, slow, not chasing, following, like it already knew we couldn't escape. By the time we reached the parking lot, both of us were gasping for air. I looked back at the building. 4th floor hallway window. Something was standing there watching us. Even from that far away, I could still see the smile. What is that? I shouted. Adrian looked sick. I don't know. You've dealt with this for how long? Almost a year. A year? I stared at him like he was insane. Why would you stay here? Then Adrian said something that made my stomach twist. Because it follows you if you leave. I laughed nervously. Nope, absolutely not. I tried moving, he said quietly. It came with me. After Tyler disappeared, Adrian moved apartments across town. For 3 nights, everything was normal. Then the knocking started again. 2:13 a.m. Every night. 3 knocks. Eventually, he saw the hallway man outside his new apartment, too, smiling. So he moved back here. Because according to him, it's weaker inside this building. At this point, I still thought Adrian was paranoid. Until my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Another text. This time it was a photo. I opened it and nearly dropped my phone. It was a picture of us standing in the parking lot, taken from the 4th floor hallway window, seconds ago. Adrian saw my face instantly. What? I showed him the screen. He went pale immediately. Then another message appeared. Wrong apartment. I frowned. What does that mean? Adrian suddenly looked terrified. Then he whispered, Oh no. What? Slowly, he looked back up toward the building. That thing, his voice cracked. That's not the hallway man. The 4th floor hallway light suddenly shut off. Darkness swallowed the window completely. Then Adrian grabbed my arm hard. We need to find Tyler. The knocking came again. 3 slow knocks. Tyler immediately shut off the lights. The whole house went dark. No windows, he whispered. Then my voice came from outside. Please let me in. I felt sick instantly, because it sounded exactly like me. Same breathing. Same nervous tone. Adrian finally looked at me and quietly said, I'm sorry. That's when everything clicked. The apartment. The cheap rent. The pacing every night. He didn't accidentally drag me into this. He was trying to pass it on to someone else. Me. Rage hit instantly. You used me? Adrian looked exhausted. I didn't know what else to do. Then the knocking stopped. Complete silence. Tyler suddenly grabbed my arm. Don't move. I looked toward the hallway and froze. Something was standing there. Tall figure, but now it looked almost exactly like me. Same height. Same posture. Its face twitched slightly, like it was still learning how mine worked. Then it smiled. Too wide. Way too wide. And in my voice it whispered, You looked at me too long. My phone buzzed immediately. Unknown number. 1 message. A photo of the 3 of us inside the house, taken seconds earlier. Underneath it said, Almost ready. Tyler panicked instantly. We need to leave now. But Adrian suddenly started laughing. Quiet at first, then louder. I turned toward him slowly, and my blood ran cold. His smile stretched too far across his face, exactly like the thing's smile. Tyler backed away immediately. No. Then Adrian looked directly at me, and in my voice said, "It worked?" I stared at him. "What the hell does that mean?" Tyler finally shouted the truth. "The real Adrian disappeared months ago." Silence. Actual silence. Because suddenly every weird thing made sense. The pacing, the staring, the way he copied people. I never actually met my roommate. Whatever lived in that apartment was pretending to be him the entire time. Then Adrian's face twitched strangely. For half a second, I saw my own face underneath his, smiling. The thing stepped closer and softly whispered, "It gets lonely pretending to be you alone." Then every window in the house started knocking at once. Bang, bang, bang. Different voices whispered outside. Mine, Tyler's, Adrian's, like copies practicing. Tyler grabbed me and screamed, "Don't look at it!" But I already had, and the thing smiled wider immediately. Like it knew. The last thing I remember before blacking out was seeing my own face smiling at me in the dark. I woke up the next morning back in my apartment, alone. No Tyler. No Adrian. For a second, I thought I imagined everything. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. One new message. A selfie of me sleeping in my bed, taken while I was unconscious. Underneath it said, "See you tonight. 2:13."